I feel like in some way, every other woman that I encounter is a role model on some level or the other, because we're constantly living out our own stories of strength, of courage, of vulnerability, of compassion, and so everybody has capacity to be a role model. Love inspires me, I think. Like I said, I feel like love has protected me my entire life. It's like an armor around me, apart from all of this stuff as well. This is also armor. But love inspires me completely. The love that my mum's had for me, the love that I've had for other people, lovers that I've had in my life have always inspired my work in some way or the other, and I fall in love every 5 minutes, so that doesn't help. Yeah, so love inspires me. I come from 3 generations of rebellion as well. My grandfather, he left his very conservative Muslim family in a village in Rajasthan to become an entrepreneur in Madhya Pradesh. He set up his own company. He educated all of his daughters, which was really quite like progressive for the time. My mum is a huge rebel. She married outside of her caste. She married a Hindu, which was completely unheard of at the time. She decided to then leave him, took care of 2 kids on her own as a single mother. She's done all of these things. Like, she's the only artist of her generation. And with me as well, I feel like rebellion is something that's incredibly important for me. So using art as a path to make things change is really important. Yeah. The Fearless Collective actually began exactly 2 years ago, on December 21st, 2012, in Delhi. I happened to be here for a friend's wedding when the whole kind of Nirbhaya incident happened, and the protests around the Delhi gang rape just broke out onto the streets. And I remember being at like a Sangeet or something or the other and being like, I can't be here anymore. I need to go to India Gate. We have a lot of freedom in India, and of course, like, all of us go out, and I speak in English, and there are all of these like smaller liberties or whatever. But it feels like those are all things that have happened because of the feminist movement in the West, and we haven't really had something that's been really rooted here and contextual to the country. And it felt like for the first time people were just saying enough. What started off as a poster campaign, it was online and viral, and people were sharing it and liking it and all of that stuff. But beyond that also, it's become into, for me at least, a series of workshops and interventions on the street. So I feel like the kind of common goal of the street art movement and the feminist movement is this need to reclaim public spaces. Like with artists, they're saying, along with all of these ads and along with all of these like politics, my art has a right to be here on the street. For feminists, it's saying, I have a right to be here on the street. Along with all of you men in this bus, I have a right to be here. So let me be here without groping me or touching me. So it became into, I found that like there was so much in common between the feminist movement and the street art movement that they needed to come together in some way. I was at the Kumbh Mela, which is this insane gathering of like thousands and thousands and thousands of Naga sadhus who are all men. And we were in conversation about how, when in India we worship the women, we worship these goddesses on our walls, but we rape the women in our homes, and why is that? And he was like, well, if you want to be worshipped like a goddess, then become a goddess. And I was like, yeah, that's really convenient. Thanks a lot, man. But when I started to think about it a little bit, I was like, really, sometimes perhaps the issue is this need to constantly wait to be worshipped or wait to be liberated. But instead, if we can actually reclaim that power and say, like, I worship myself, then that becomes the first step. So one of the big affirmations there became, what we worship, we shall become. And then on the banks of the river in the Ganga, I painted this first big wall, which was this little girl and her cat, and this huge image of Durga and her tiger. And the girl says, what we worship, we shall become. And Durga responds, Har Mahila Devi hai, every woman is a goddess. So yeah, it's become into now a series of interventions across the street. I've painted walls with fisher women from Sayan Koliwada in Bombay to a group of 40 young Muslim girls who wear burqas, and we did workshops on body image, so a whole range of different women and children across India. I think being in touch with the child who's inside of you is incredibly important. At core, I'm still that little girl who believed in magic and who believed in herself and in her dreams and in the beautiful things that she would collect, and it's still me. And having that constant point of contact with that little girl is probably your truest, most authentic self. So don't lose her. Don't lose her in like power suits. I hate power suits, apparently. But don't lose her. Like be in contact with her. Keep her, because she'll help you. She'll guide your hand and take you forward.